What's up, you fools? Matt, ESC United, your favorite Eurovision channel. This is the ESC United Expert Panel, where the team at ESC United is reviewing and judging all the songs. What do I mean? We'll share our thoughts, and at the very end, our score. We do that every year. Let's see who will end up on top. Keep in mind, these are just our thoughts and opinions by expert. It's as ironic as it gets because we have no clue what we're talking about. This is just for fun. So today's video is all about Germany. Yes, and it's my home country, as we all know. And they had their national final, which was quite interesting. And in the end, it was Sister, that's the name of the band. No, Sisters, right?
Yes.
It's the name of the band, and the name of the song is Sister.
This is the band.
I know, it confuses me all the time. One of the two. You figure it out.
I see flames in your eyes. Tell me burn so bright.
So, they won the televote, they won the jury vote, but they did not win the expert jury. There's like a fan jury that was there as well. They did not win that. They did not quite do as well there. The question is, who got it right? That's why we're here. That's why we want to talk about. Let's talk about the song Sister, not Sisters. So, since it's my country, like I own it, I'll go first. So, obviously, I'm a little biased. I want Germany to always do well because that way Germany can host it and I can stay with my family, right? And save a lot of money. It was, to a lot of people, a surprise winner, right? There were a bunch of songs that people really liked and no one had Sister, the song, on their radar. It was very interesting. If anyone watched my initial video about Germany where I reviewed all of the songs, interesting enough, before the show, I said, I think Sister is my favorite. And I said, because I like me some good harmonies. But I also said in that video, Germany would make a grave mistake if they picked that one. Clearly, they didn't watch my video, because they did pick it in the end. And I just am really, really worried for Germany. I don't think Germany will come last, because I do see this one as picking up a decent amount of points from the juries. But I am so worried about the televote on this one. And for multiple reasons, I don't think that it just has a gravitas, the really good melody or moment for the average viewer to really have an appreciation for it. And I like their stage presence together. That being said, I strongly disliked the staging in the national final. The spinning platform was completely unneeded as they were walking away around each other. The lyrics were talking about, you know, the battle, like the girls, and then they didn't realize it's them causing all of that. And it's an interesting message, you know, what they're doing. I don't think it was effectively displayed on stage, and I do feel as they were a little bit too intense almost in the songs, making weird facial expressions. So to me, it just didn't come together on there. What about you, Connor?
So, at first, when I went through the whole listing of all the songs, this was not even on my radar. Mm-hmm. I kind of forgot about it after I went through the full listing. And I was very much on the Ali Ryan train. Very much before we even got the songs. But after listening to the song and having gone through the national final and now having the full listing, I'm actually rather pleased that this was the choice that they made. And I think that the reason why is that the song itself starts out really simple and it actually grows to the full 3 minutes. And it's not a stagnant song where you just kind of have them singing about coming together and being sisters for 3 minutes. Like, it actually has an emotional gravitas to it. And then there's that moment in like the pre-chorus where like it shuts off. And then it builds again, and it has a lot of those moments where it's really cleverly crafted. What I will say is, given the fact that we have so many songs from Laurel Barker, it didn't surprise me that this came through, because I think that she is really on the up and up. as a Eurovision composer. She's potentially maybe the next Thomas Gieson or Jonas Gladnikoff of Eurovision, since I think she's got 3 in there this year now. The only thing I will say about this is that they need to be really careful and they need to really work on their synchronization, because there are little holes, if you pay attention to the performance close enough, where they get really slightly off from each other. And in a song where I'm assuming that they're not going to really use any backing vocalists, and if they are, they're going to use them very, very rarely, they need to make sure that they're lining themselves up really carefully, because otherwise that song can derail really, really fast. And they only have one chance to get it right.
Yes.
They don't get a semifinal performance to try to, iron things out and get it right, then qualify and then fix everything. They get one shot. So they need to make sure that they make that count. They need to make sure they do it right. And I do think they need to ditch the rotating stage and find something a little bit more simplistic, but equally as effective.
Yeah, I think that's fair. What about you, Calvin?
So I think my biggest issue with this song is something that you, Matt, kind of touched on a little bit, which is that it really wants for subtlety. Like, they just throw themselves into the song so much. It is such a loud listening experience. In the live performance, the choreo was so, intense, as you said, and it just doesn't feel like it works with the song, or like there would really be any song that it works with. I think it's a little bit loud. It kind of just hits you, and then you're kind of like, what did I just listen to? Why are they yelling at me like this? And it just kind of loses that. I mean, on one hand, that could be a sign of some real sincerity, which I do appreciate and which I do understand, and which kind of keeps it going for me. But it just feels like they aren't a good match for the song, because they are so throwing themselves into it in a serious way, and that kind of loses me. I kind of find it an uncanny listening experience for that reason. And as Connor was mentioning, the slight synchronization issues are a real problem if they're both so going for it, and they're both so hard to. They both make themselves so hard to ignore. I think if they can't really fix their live performance, that it's going to be a bit of a problem come Eurovision time. I do think there is some promise if they can pull back just a little bit in their live performance, and I think if they do that, the story of the song, the build that the song has, could really work, because there is a lot there, but they need to figure out a way to just hone themselves and control themselves a little bit, because it could be really enjoyable, I think, if they can do that.
Yeah. All right. How about you, Melanie?
Yeah, I'm almost on the same page as you guys. Let me just start with the positive things. I really like the toolbox, music box sound that's
cool.
in the
Yeah.
And it really have a nice climax. It's really going somewhere. It really have a climax. But as you guys say, I have a problem with their voices. I really have to think that they are shouting too much. It's like stop. You have a sister. I'm like, no, but you really have to just take a minute, just calm down. They really are just shouty a little bit, and I appreciate the song after the 5th listen, but I still have a problem with the vocals, that they just shout too much. But if they work on it, it can work. But I really needed 5 listens of the song, and I'm like, okay, this is an okay song. It's not that bad as I think than in national finals, but it just needs some time to really come to me. And yeah, the vocally, there's just too much shouting in my feeling. So yeah.
It is going to be very interesting also how we're going to rank it right now, because it seems that this could potentially change come Tel Aviv as well here, depending what they're going to do. But for now, let's figure out how we scored this one. Again, I will go first, and despite all of my harsh wasn't even harsh criticism. All the things that I pointed out. I don't think it is a bad song. I do like the harmonies. The verses are pretty nice. As Melanie said, it becomes very shouty in the chorus. Sister! I'm like, okay, you're taking me out, and synchronizing is the best way to Connor phrased it. Even when they were walking around, they were just not even like in sync walking around. One girl caught up to the other one, and just like, okay, this is not quite there yet. But overall, I see potential there. It is not the worst song of the night, and I'm giving it 6.5 for now. So where are you at, Connor? What's your score?
So despite my concerns about the synchronization, I actually don't have any issue with how shouty it can get. I think that there are a lot of very well done and well received Eurovision entries in the past that have fit into that category. I'm looking at Spain 2013 for that kind of fit.
Spain 13?
Sorry, 2012.
Okay.
2012. Sorry. Dates aren't my forte. Had a very similar quality. Of that key change going into a shouty kind of moment. I see a lot of potential in this, and I think that given what Germany has brought in the past, especially recently from last year in staging, I think this is going to go over really well. So I gave it 8.5 for my total score. It is really high up there for me, and quite literally, I think it finishes in like 6th place. In my personal ranking. I just don't see a reason to knock it for the very simple concerns that they have a whole nother 2 months to fix very, very small things rather than fixing the whole song.
All right, so a decent score there from Connor. How about you, Calvin?
I think they actually have a lot more to fix, and while I do think the song like could work, I think their ceiling isn't maybe quite as high as y'all seem to think it is. So I actually give them a 4. For kind of the reasons I listed, that they have a lot to fix, and I'm just kind of worried that they won't be able to without losing something.
Okay. How about you, Melanie? What's your score?
I gave it a 6 because I see potential in the song, but they have 2 months of time to fix the problems that I'm hearing and seeing. And I think that overall it will do well in Tel Aviv. So a 6 for potential in it.
All right. 6 points for Melanie. So you see our 4 scores. Let's put them all in a big pot and throw all the other votes from the ESC United team in there, steer it a little bit, and get the average score for Germany from ESC United. And that score is 6.19. Now, Calvin, are you surprised that it's that high?
I actually am a little bit. I think just because, as Connor was saying that, and you were saying that the national final win was so much of a surprise, and people were just like, "What was Germany thinking? What are they doing? They're making such a big mistake." So I'm surprised that its reception is as good as it is, and maybe that portends to a potential mid-table finish. I know I have it probably as my most likely 26th in the final right now, regardless of what else makes it. But if our panel is loving it as much as they seem to, or at least liking it as much as they seem to, then I think maybe I might be wrong.
Yeah, I do think that also, of course, the Eurovision fans are all about, I'm so angry at that song because my favorite didn't win. In the end, that will not matter at Eurovision, of course. The average housewife in Lithuania is not going to worry about, that, someone's favorite only finished in 3rd place in the national final. She's just going to listen to that song and either like it or not. But nevertheless, Germany got a decent score. Do you all agree? Or should Germany receive more points, less points? Well, it's your turn because you can vote in the ESC United poll where you're going to have your own ranking. The link is in the description box. We would love for you to hear from you and vote in the poll. We got to move on. Another next country coming up to review. So have a good day.